NBK's King of the Sniper Adjudicator is very strange. It's got a lot of weird features, chief amongst them being the price. I mean, shop around, have a look. It's wild that this thing isn't twice the price. And I'm not saying it's amazing or anything like that. It's just the sheer bulk of it, the presentation. What? There's a few colour variants, but I went for this lighter one because the alt mode would have been construed as being grim enough. But just look at this lanky bastard. It's given me real Cybertron Omega Supreme vibes. There's a ton of articulation, individual fingers, die-cast pieces, and it all feels very solid. He's huge too. I've got no idea where he's going to go. It's not exactly what you'd call a looker, and that knockoff movie Optimus head really cheapens the whole experience. But you can tell they at least made an effort. We're not seeing this in home bargains anytime soon. Accessories wise, we've got this giant scope that fits into the back shoulder on this tiny peg. That's definitely going to come loose when posing him. A giant sword that looks like it came directly from a Zoid. And a huge barrel that you can combine with the gun to make this giant Gatling gun. There's other stuff as well, but we'll look at that in the alt mode. But just how, I mean, I don't know if impressive is the word, but just how did they... The head lights up, and generally it looks like it could take a few D batteries up its arse, but then again, couldn't we all? The instructions don't mention anything like that, so we can safely move on to the transformation. How do some third-party companies just nail instructions and others fail us so consistently? These instructions are a dream compared to some of the other stuff I've been subjected to. It helps that generally it's a pretty simple transformation for something so wildly different from the robot mode. And just, I mean, look, again, I'm consistently lost for words. How is this thing so huge? It's fucking gargantuan. It's a giant sniper's rifle. And listen, I'm not a gun guy at all. You know, the world would be a much better place without them. But look at this thing. It's a giant fucking Nerf looking gun. Tons of detail. It's heavy. It's got a little accessory you clip on the front. You can use it as a rest. It's wonderful. Now, even though it's clearly a toy, now, it would be wildly inappropriate to actually make this thing fire bullets. Agreed? Well, NBK disagree because look at these little nuggets. You assemble them yourself. They even gave you a little tool to make things easier. Pop open the side. Slide a bullet in. Pull back the lever on the other side. And pull on that trigger. Now, luckily it fires with the force of a kitten's laugh, but still, isn't that impressive that it actually works? To an extent. The scope works too, and I mean, look at that packaging, you know, beautiful big box, lovely artwork, and it even came with its own bespoke cardboard box. You know, it didn't even come with a useless stats card. You know, extra points all around. I just couldn't stop thinking, how did this cost so little in comparison to other third-party toys? Then it hit me. I tweeted this dynamic, handsome picture of me to my OnlyFans, and folks immediately said, oh, they should release this as a version of the DJD's Voss from the IDW comics. And I thought, yeah, well, of course this toy is cheap. You know, besides the daft Optimus Prime head, it's not based on anything. It's just a fun toy. You know, if it were based on an actual character, the same basic toy, they'd be charging you rubes double the price. Easy. And you'd just lap it up, wouldn't you? Sickening. Horrible audience.